I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
So now I want to go through a little more detailed examples of each of these goals. And I'll probably spend a day on each goal and helping you have some of the factors that you can use in order to identify which. And the reason that this is important is that when you go to redirect or discipline your child, if you don't identify which goal they're in correctly, the corrective measure won't work. So each of the four goals, attention, power, revenge, and inadequacy, has its own set of corrective measures, its own specific kind of tool for correcting that misbehavior. So that's why I'm going to spend so much time on identifying the goals correctly so that you use the appropriate or applicable tools to redirect it. So today we're going to focus on the goal of undue attention. When you get in situations where your child is misbehaving in a way that they're bugging you or trying to get special service, and usually they'll be interrupting you, but they'll be going, "Mom, Mom, Mom, Dad, Dad, Dad." They'll be pulling on your shirt. Some of them even grab your face and turn it towards them so that they can talk to you. They want to be in your face. They want to be monopolizing, manipulating your time. And so in these situations, chances are you're going to feel annoyed, irritated, worried, guilty. Sometimes I feel a little manipulated. So when your child is behaving in this way, one of the things that we tend to do as parents, we react by reminding them, remember, don't interrupt mommy when she's talking to her friend, coaxing them. Come on, honey, I've been spending lots of time with you. I need you to just leave me alone for 5 minutes so I can finish what I'm doing. Or we do things for the child that he or she could do for his or herself. Because they're bothering us, because they're interrupting us, we'll just get up and do something that maybe they should have to do on their own.
Nick Carter is the most popular member of the Backstreet Boys. But shocking sexual abuse allegations against Nick are laid to bear in a must-see special. Emotional interviews from Nick's accusers and intimate details of how two celebrity brothers come to blows when Aaron comes to the defense of Nick's accusers. A detailed look at the family dysfunction in one of Hollywood's most famous families. Fallen Idols, Nick and Aaron Carter, a 2-night event, premieres Monday, May 27th at 9 on ID and stream on Max. Set your DVR.
The other thing is that'll help us identify this is what happens when we try to correct this child. So the child's response to our discipline is going to help us figure out which of these four goals that the child is in. When it's the goal of undue attention and you try to discipline the child, not now, I'm busy, just give me 5 minutes, they'll stop temporarily, but then they'll resume again or begin another disturbing behavior. And they will stop when you give them one-on-one attention. So if your child's interrupting you and you leave what you're doing in order to be of service to them, you're actually reinforcing their mistaken belief that says, I need to keep you busy with me or else I'm not loved. So the child's misbehaving, again, in a way that's distracting, that's annoying, where you're feeling irritated, guilty, like you should be with them more. And that child's mistaken belief is I belong only if I'm being noticed or getting special service. I'm only important when I'm keeping you busy with me. If I don't keep you busy with me, then I don't believe I'm loved. Now remember, all of these are unconscious. None of our kids are trying to make our lives miserable. They're not out to get us. They've just learned that this is how I get my need met in my world. So for today, look for opportunities when your child is misbehaving in a way where you feel annoyed, irritated, worried, or guilty. And you'll notice that you might be reminding them, coaxing them, doing things for the child that he could do for his or herself. If the child stops temporarily when you try to discipline them and then starts up again, or stops completely when you give them one-on-one attention, again, that's going to be even further clue that this is undue attention. And tomorrow we'll go over power, and the next day we'll go over revenge, and the next day we'll go over inadequacy, and then we'll begin to do the corrective measures for each of the goals. Have a great day. Happy parenting.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.